Kidnapping Santa, written by Jeff Dress. Interior, Arnold House, kitchen, day. Irene pulls a batch of cookies out of the stove, sets them on the counter, turns, and nearly collides with Richie.
My goodness, you get hair.
Sorry.
Richie is despondent. Irene picks up on it.
Something bothering you?
I guess.
Want to talk about it?
Richie glares at her accusingly.
Santa isn't real.
Santa isn't real. Santa isn't real.
I knew it.
Santa? Not real?
Sit down, both of you. Of course he's real.
Lauren exhales deeply.
But at school,
How else do you explain the presents under the tree?
I figured they're from you and Dad.
Well, some of them are, but not all of them. And don't forget the stockings.
Lauren looks at Richie like he's stupid.
Who do you think drinks the milk and cookies we leave for Santa?
Lauren sighs, sounding exasperated.
I told the class about how Santa was bringing me a bike for Christmas, and they laughed at me.
Not everyone believes in Santa.
Why not?
I don't know. Probably because some of them don't get anything from Santa because they're on the naughty list.
I bet Brad's on the naughty list.
Is that the one who throws snowballs at us?
Richie nods.
I bet you're right.
Thanks, Mom.
Anytime.
Richie leaves the room. Max follows him. Arnold runs, oinking, trying to catch up. Lauren looks at her mother and shakes her head.
Boys.
Irene smiles and tussles Lauren's hair. Jerry walks in, walks over to Irene and kisses her.
So, what's for dinner?
Irene looks at Lauren, shakes her head.
Men.
Irene and Lauren laugh. Jerry just looks confused. Exterior, North Pole, Santa's workshop, day. 6 elves sit together wrapping presents. They range in age from mid-teens to mid-20s. They are dressed in sparkly outfits and have pointy elf ears. Mistletoe, mid-20s, stands in front supervising. Make sure everyone is happy and efficient.
Hey, Noel, why don't you rap for us?
Noel, late teens, laughs.
You want me to rap while we rap?
Everyone laughs.
All right.
Noel stands, thinks for a moment, then starts rapping.
We were rocking and bopping. No one needed a nap, and suddenly I started my Christmas rap.
The other elves continue wrapping presents, rocking their head along with the beat as Noel continues rapping, all except for Arl. Mid-teens, Arl makes a face, shakes his head, and stops wrapping presents. Holly, late teens, notices Arl, cocks her head, and looks at him puzzled.
Why'd you stop rapping?
Does it matter?
Of course it matters. We have lots of toys to wrap for Santa to deliver all over the world.
Arl flaps his lips and makes a rude sound.
Rude much?
Santa walks into the room smiling. His smile broadens even more when he watches Noel move around as he raps. Santa steps behind Noel and imitates Noel's moves without Noel being aware. Mistletoe and the others, minus Arl, love it. Ginger, late teens, and Petal, late teens, jump up and down and dance in place next to each other, but neither stops rapping.
And if you want to sit on Santa's lap, you have to join in on my Christmas rap.
Noel turns around and sees Santa imitating his moves and laughs joyously. Noel and Santa...
I didn't know you could rap like that. You slayed it. Slay? See what I did there? You're the best.
Santa notices Arl sitting there looking sad. Santa looks at Mistletoe and she makes a sad face, expressing that she knows about Arl and isn't sure what to do about it. Santa approaches Arl.
Hey, Arl. What's up, buddy? You seem upset.
I'm tired of these reindeer games.
Looks puzzled.
You're not having fun?
I'm sick of having fun. It's like every day is Christmas here.
And that's a bad thing.
I don't want to smile all the time. It makes my face hurt. I just want to be left alone.
Arl walks off. All the other elves eavesdrop on the conversation without meaning to because Arl talks so loudly, but they continue wrapping presents and don't make eye contact. Mistletoe walks over to Santa.
I don't know what to do with him.
Don't worry. I got this.
Mistletoe walks off. Santa thinks for a moment, then turns on his charm in front of the elves.
Ho, 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 ho. You're all doing a great job. Keep it up.
Santa walks off. Ginger and Petal exchange looks for a second and go back to concentrating on the presents. Interior North Pole, Santa's workshop, night. Arl pages through the naughty list and looks happy. Mistletoe quietly steps into the room and sees Arl looking through the book. Arl turns to the next page. Insert the naughty list. 2 pages side by side show pictures of Kip and Earl Handy. He reads their Georgia address, phone info, then sees a folded up note inside. Arl unfolds the note and reads it. It reads, "Dear Santa, you've put coal in our stocking for the last time. Best not show your face around here if you know what's good for you. Kip and Earl Handy." Back to scene. Arl looks fascinated. He holds up the note, still unaware that Mistletoe stands right behind him.
Threatening Santa is the quickest way to get on the naughty list for life.
Arl jumps, slams the book shut.
So there's no way of getting them off the naughty list?
I don't think so. But if you figure something out, let me know. I know Santa would be thrilled to have less people on the naughty list.
Interesting.
Get some sleep. Good night, Arl.
Good night, Mistletoe.
Mistletoe leaves the room. Arl looks around and makes sure she's gone, then opens the book back up to Kip and Earl's page and thinks. Interior, North Pole, Santa's workshop, dark room, day. Arl turns the lamp on in an otherwise dark room. He pulls out a piece of paper with a phone number on it, grabs the telephone and dials. Interior, handy house, living room, day. The room is sparsely furnished. Kip sits on the couch as Earl paces the room, looking down at his younger brother. If you're worried about knocking off the jewelry store, then find a better solution, but we can't wait forever. Kip shakes his head involuntarily, but says nothing. His cell phone rings. He pulls it out and looks at it. Who is it?
I don't know.
Kip lays the phone down. Answer it, you idiot. Could be important. Kip grabs the phone and puts it to his ear.
Hello?
Intercut telephone conversation.
Is this Kip Handy?
Who this?
I have information I thought you'd want to know about.
What kind of information?
Put it on speakerphone.
Oh,
Kip nods at Earl, puts it on speakerphone.
I'm sure you know you're on the naughty list.
Tony, is this you? Very funny.
I'm not Tony. I'm an elf from the North Pole. My name's Arl.
Kip and Earl laugh.
Okay, I'll play along. Now, why would we be on the naughty list?
Because of the threatening letter you wrote to Santa.
Kip continues to laugh, but Earl looks shocked.
Very funny, but I'm not falling.
Earl shakes his head. Kip looks confused. Earl rips the phone from Kip's hand and puts it to his ear. Why are you calling us?
Santa's coming to Ashland Mall, and I thought if you wanted to apologize, he might take you off the naughty list. It would make him happy.
Great idea, kid. When's he coming? Earl takes Arl off speakerphone. He nods his head repeatedly, writes something down on a piece of paper. Does Santa know we're coming? Earl smiles. Great. Make sure you don't tell him neither. I want it to be a surprise. Earl hangs up. Back to scene.
We're on the naughty list? For real?
Don't worry. All our problems are about to be over.
You mean once we apologize to Santa?
You idiot. We're not apologizing to Santa. We're kidnapping Santa. Earl laughs. Kip looks worried. Exterior, Ashland Mall day. Mistletoe looks over and sees the two security guards talking with two policemen, Officer Gringe and Officer Tim Sweeney.
They called the police in. Do you think they'll do anything?
Come on, let's go.
Mistletoe, Arl, and Holly walk over to four men and clears her throat to get their attention.
I'm sorry, miss. Did you need something?
I'd like to know what you're doing about Santa being kidnapped.
Tim looks at Mistletoe and can barely breathe as he looks lovingly at her.
Did you know the victim?
Of course I knew him.
Great. Can you tell me his name? No one seems to have that info.
Some people call him Nick. Not sure why, though.
No, I mean, very funny. Like old Saint Nick?
Mistletoe shrugs. Arl looks at Gringe's name tag and gasps.
It's the Grinch! It says that right there on his shirt!
Grinch, not Grinch.
Right.
Officer Gringe dismisses Arl and looks at Mistletoe.
Look, ma'am, if you have any real information about the crime...
I need to know you're going to find him. Do you know how many days it is until Christmas?
Officer Gringe looks angry. Officer Tim Sweeney grabs Gringe's shoulder and nods to him.
I've got this.
Look.
Officer Gringe walks away. Tim smiles at Mistletoe from several feet away.
Hi. Maybe I can help.
Holly pulls on Mistletoe's skirt. Mistletoe leans down and looks at Holly.
What is it?
He's cute.
We're here to help Santa.
Just saying. I think he likes you.
How can you tell?
He can't take his eyes off you.
Mistletoe looks at Tim, then back at Holly, smiling.
We'll talk about this later.
She smiles at Tim.
The only way you can help is if you find Santa.
Tim nods, scratches his head.
Were you all part of the show?
No, we just came here with Santa to help spread the cheer. Why?
I don't know. Just your ears.
Mistletoe looks self-conscious.
Never mind. So they took Santa?
Why doesn't anyone believe me?
You have a picture of Santa.
Arl rolls his eyes.
Do you not know what Santa looks like? Are you an idiot?
Arl, be quiet.
Mistletoe grabs her phone and flips through photos until she finds one of herself with Santa and some of the other elves. She shows it to Tim.
Yep, that's Santa, all right.
Tim looks at Mistletoe and is overwhelmed.
I can't believe how beautiful you.
Tim clamps his mouth shut.
How beautiful that picture is. It's. Where was it taken?
The North. Does that really matter?
Not really.
He looks at her, and it seems like he's having trouble catching his breath.
Is this all for real?
Mistletoe nods and smiles at him.
I know it must sound crazy.
That's okay. Can I get your number? In case I have questions about the case.
Of course. Do you have a phone?
Yeah.
He hands her his phone and she types. Tim looks at Arl and Holly. Arl looks like he'd rather be anywhere else, but Holly smiles at Tim.
We're staying nearby at the big hotel on 3rd Avenue.
I know the place.
Mistletoe finishes typing and hands Tim back his phone. He takes the phone and looks at the information.
Your name's Mistletoe?
She looks apprehensive, nods.
Beautiful. Mine's Tim, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
Tim hands her a card and smiles into her eyes.
If you have any questions or just want to talk,
Thank you.
you're welcome. You're quite welcome.
Mistletoe, Arl, and Holly walk away. Holly beams at Mistletoe.
What are you smiling so hard about?
Told you so.
Holly giggles. Interior, handy house, dining room, night. Earl sits at the dining room table writing a note. Kip stands over him, watching him write.
I think we should let Santa go.
Yeah, you would. Kip looks at the note and Earl continues to write.
$1 million? You think someone's going to give us $1 million? Are you insane?
They want old Saint Nick back in one piece. They'd better.
What are you saying?
I'm saying the old man put coal in our stocking for the last time. They're going to pay to get him back, because if they don't, he will. Earl licks the envelope, puts a stamp on it, and addresses it to Santa at the North Pole.
What if no one opens it because Santa's not there?
Earl sighs, writes, or Mrs. Claus next to Santa. Satisfied? Kip shrugs. Go mail it. Interior handy house, living room, night. Kip looks at Santa, confused.
He didn't bring in these reindeer. Who did?
Santa magically unties himself, rubs his hands.
If I'm going to sit here all day tied up, I want something to look at. Besides, I missed my reindeer.
Kip looks at the reindeer statues. They are now full-grown reindeer wandering around the room.
So, you could have escaped anytime you wanted?
I am Santa.
Then why'd you stay?
Kip, I made a mistake.
What kind of mistake?
Putting you on the naughty lists.
For real?
For real.
But that still doesn't explain why you stayed. Surely you could snap your fingers and take me off the list.
True, but getting Earl off the list might be a little harder.
I don't understand.
Your brother's a bully, but deep down, I think there's some good in there.
Ain't Earl? Early Handy. Just want to make sure we're talking about the same guy.
We are, but you can't tell him I said that.
Kip pretends to zip his lips shut.
And we don't have much time either.
Oh, no.
It's almost Christmas.
What? Earl, a good guy? Didn't see that coming.
Interior, North Pole, Santa's workshop, night. Carol walks into the workshop and sees Noel, Ginger, and Petal building toys, none of them looking happy or eager to finish what they're working on. She puts on her best smile.
Why isn't everyone dancing?
They all look around. Guilt is written all over their faces.
Oh, I'm two characters, yes. Hi, Mrs. Claus.
Petal and Ginger nod at her, but they say nothing.
What's wrong?
What do you mean?
You're acting strange. Is there something you're not telling me?
Petal's eyes widen. She shakes her head no, then looks at Noel and Ginger for help.
Why isn't Santa back yet?
It's not like he's been kidnapped.
Ginger makes an odd sound and looks down. Petal looks at Noel like she can't believe what he just said.
Kidnapped? Noel, do you know something you're not telling me?
Noel looks scared.
Maybe you should sit down.
Carol involuntarily sits.
Tell me.
Well, you see, it's actually kind of funny.
Anna was kidnapped.
Carol gasps. Petal grabs her hand and holds it. Ginger makes another odd sound. Carol looks at Petal.
Kidnapped?
By someone from the naughty list.
Why would you keep this from me?
We're sure he's going to be all right.
Unless he's not.
Well, what can we do?
Mistletoe's looking for him.
And if she doesn't find him?
I'm sure she, you don't happen to have $1 million, do you?
Everyone stares at Noel. Noel looks at the floor. Petal's face lights up. Carol notices.
What?
I've got an idea, but it could be a little dangerous.
I'm listening.
Okay, so this is what I think we should do.
Petal continues to speak MOS at the others as the others look on. Noel and Ginger's mouths are wide open, but Carol nods and smiles. Interior Hotel, Suite 301, day. Mistletoe paces around the room, and Arl and Holly watch her.
Why don't you sit down? You look like you're going to break.
I feel like it. It's Christmas Eve, and if we don't find Santa in time, Christmas will be ruined.
Arl hangs his head, shakes it from side to side. Mistletoe and Holly watch him, then look at each other. Mistletoe sits down next to Arl, puts her hand on his shoulder.
I didn't mean to upset you.
It's all my fault.
What is?
I thought they were going to apologize to Santa and he'd take him off the naughty list.
Who?
Arl, if you know something, you need to tell us.
I know who took Santa.
Oh, and Holly gasp.
Do you know where Santa is?
I think so.
You need to take us there now.
Exterior park day. Carol, Noel, Petal, and Ginger sit on the park bench and watch as Kip parks the VW and walks towards them.
You think that's the guy?
I don't know. He looks too innocent.
Kip walks towards them.
Is walking right towards where the money's supposed to be.
Ginger starts making nervous noises.
Ginger, shush.
Kip reaches the bench, smiles nervously at them. He peeks into the trash can next to the bench, rummages through it.
You looking for something?
Kip opens and closes his mouth, has no words.
You want to find the ransom money in there if that's what you're looking for.
Kip looks guilty, tries not to show it.
I wasn't looking for...
You have my husband, don't you?
Kip looks confused.
Mrs. Claus?
Call me Carol.
Oh, Carol, I don't know what to say. It was my brother's idea. I didn't know he was going to kidnap him. And
That's okay. I just want him back.
I hope you have the money. Otherwise, Earl...
Sorry.
Kip looks devastated.
So your brother's name is, Earl. What's your name?
Noel makes a fist and pounds it into his other hand.
It's Kip. I need to go.
Please don't go, Kip. I need my husband back. It's Christmas Eve. The whole world needs him back. Surely you realize that.
I do, and I'm sorry. I don't know what to do.
Kip turns to leave, but Petal blocks his path.
Sure you won't reconsider?
Kip looks flustered. He tries to walk around Petal. Petal pulls a taser gun out of her pocket and tases him. Kip ground. Carol, Noel, and Ginger look shocked.
Where did you get that thing?
I made it. Thought it might come in handy.
They all stand over Kip, who is unconscious on the ground.
Maybe we should get into his car and tie him up.
Carol looks indecisive.
We can't just leave him here.
Maybe his address will be in the glove box or something.
Interior handy house, living room, day. Tim wakes up, looks around. He is tied to a chair next to Santa. He sees Earl standing nearby, looking defeated.
Would you do this?
Money. Why'd you think?
You kidnapped Santa Claus for money? And now you take a cop?
You broke into my house.
Because I saw Santa in there.
Earl leans over and places his face in his hands.
It's okay, Earl. Everything's gonna be fine.
Don't tell him my name.
I already know your name. Earl Handy.
Earl looks confused.
You think I just randomly stopped by? I was following a lead. People who drive blue VW bugs like the one the security guards at the mall saw drive away with Santa.
It's over. I'm going to prison and it's all my fault.
No one's going to prison.
I should have never written that letter to you.
Why did you write it, Earl? It never made sense to me.
I wrote it because you never gave me anything for Christmas except coal. Santa looks confused.
I gave you and Kip everything you ever asked for.
Now it's Earl's turn to look confused.
I remember you asking for a motorbike the same year Kip asked for a canoe. It was a bit much, but you were good boys, and so I gave them to you.
Earl's eyes widen.
Well, then you asked for it.
Wait. Did you say motorbike and canoe?
Yes.
Earl stands for a moment, then sinks back down to his knees. Tim and Santa exchange looks. Earl looks at the ground for a moment, then back to Santa. My father told us to stop writing you letters. Then, on Christmas morning, he had a motorbike and a canoe in the house, and he said he bought them for himself. Earl looks devastated. Santa shakes his head.
I should have known. Your father's been on the naughty list for as long as I can remember.
Interior handy house living room. I can't believe I've done all this, kidnapped you, made you sit here tied up to this chair all this time. You must have been afraid you were never going to get loose.
That wasn't really something I was concerned about.
Santa magically unties the ropes. Earl laughs. You mean you could have escaped at any time? But why'd you stay?
Well, thought I'd see how things played out.
Santa magically makes the ropes untie from Tim. Tim starts to grab his gun and Santa touches his hand and shakes his head no. Tim nods and lets it go. Max pads into the room and begins to growl at Earl. Earl jumps in surprise, shocked, looks at Max. How'd you get in here? Richie and Lauren run into the room.
Max, come here, boy.
Max comes to Richie and Richie grabs his leash.
Sorry,
Richie's eyes grow wide when he sees Santa. Lauren stands next to Richie, her eyes also wide.
Santa?
Hello, Richie. I was wondering if you and Lauren would make it over.
Richie's mouth hangs open. Lauren faints. Santa, who was across the room a second ago, stands behind her, catches her.
Ooh, let's lie her down on the couch.
Richie nods. They all lay Lauren down on the couch.
You really are Santa.
And you really are Richie.
They both smile. The side door opens in the background and they both turn and look. Kip walks in with Noel and Petal's help, followed by Carol and Ginger. Santa's eyes grow wide.
Carol?
She looks over and sees him. She beams with excitement.
Oh, honey.
She runs into his arms and they embrace.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, but how'd you find me?
Those elves of yours can be quite resourceful.
Tim smiles. Everyone looks at him. He looks like he's a million miles away. Kip, eyes still not in focus, looks to Earl.
I'm sorry. There was no money.
Never be sorry, brother. I'm just glad you're all right.
Really?
Earl takes his hat off. Kip prepares to be hit by it. Earl places the hat on Kip's head. Really? Earl nods, hugs Kip. Kip looks ready to shed a tear.
Anna was right. You were a good man after all.
Don't look so surprised. They both laugh.
But what are we going to do for money?
I think it's time we get jobs. Go legit. Kip smiles. Richie stands behind Lauren, taking everything in. He watches Kip and Earl talk and nods to himself, looks back down at Lauren on the couch, sleeping peacefully. The front door opens. Mistletoe, Earl, and Holly rush inside.
Santa!
Holly runs towards Santa. Earl looks around at everyone in the room and just looks confused by everything going on. Mistletoe sees Tim and goes towards him.
Tim, what are you doing here?
There's my little elf.
Oh, what's gotten into you?
Tim grabs her and holds her close.
I know that I'm in love with you.
I'm in love with you too.
Tim leans forward and kisses her passionately. Lauren wakes up and looks around. She looks at Richie.
Is that really Santa?
Richie nods.
So Christmas is saved?
I hope so. Santa, how are you going to get back in time to deliver all those toys?
That's a good question, Richie.
Santa waves his hand and the reindeer, with lights all over them, turn into 8 real reindeer.
I can hitch the reindeer together, but my sled and the toys are back at the North Pole. We're running out of time to get them.
Earl's eyes light up and he goes to Santa. I think I may have an idea. Exterior, handy house day. Santa and Earl stand together and everyone else is outside the house as well.
Are you sure about this, Earl?
I've never been more sure about anything in my life. The 8 reindeer are hitched together, set to pull Earl's VW bug away, facing to pull out of the driveway. Richie and Lauren stand near the sidewalk. Santa looks at Richie.
Don't worry about all those non-believers out there. There's always going to be some.
It's their loss.
That's what I'm talking about.
Santa tussles Richie's hair and winks at Lauren, then turns towards the others.
It's time to leave. If we're going to get back in time to get the toys and deliver them tonight. Shotgun!
Don't be silly. Mrs. Claus is riding up front.
Noel nods and jumps in the back of the VW. Petal, Ginger, Arl, and Holly join him. Carol jumps into the front passenger seat. Mistletoe and Tim stand together holding each other, not wanting to let go. Santa smiles at the sight of this and walks over to join them.
Sorry, I'm ready. I was just saying goodbye to...
There may not be enough room for you.
Really?
Car's kind of small and, well, you look kind of happy here anyway, so you should probably stay. If that's okay with you, Tim.
Tim beams.
I'll take good care of her.
I'm sure you will.
Santa motions Mistletoe to walk with him. They walk a few feet away and he smiles at her.
Thank you.
You deserve to be happy. After all, you've been the greatest elf I've ever known. But I feel like you have a different path ahead of you now.
He looks at Tim, standing maybe 10 feet away, and she turns and looks too before facing Santa again.
You mean...
Santa nods.
Are you ready?
Mistletoe sheds a tear and nods. Santa moves his hand, and her elf ears turn into human ears. She feels her ears.
Oh, that's gonna take some time getting used to.
They laugh.
How can I ever thank you?
Oh, just be happy. That's all the thanks I need.
Santa hugs Mistletoe, steps back, looks over to Kip and Earl.
I think it's fair to say you're off the naughty list. Make sure and keep it.
We will.
Thank you, Santa.
Kip and Earl smile and wave to Santa. Santa jumps into the VW and waves at everyone. They smile and wave back. Richie and Lauren stand on the sidewalk near the end of the driveway, out of the way. Brad and Darlene walk by.
Hi, Richie.
Hi,
Darlene, everyone knows that you have a crush on Richie. You better be careful. Hanging around with Santa Geek Boy won't be good for your reputation.
Brad, why don't you go jump into a lake?
Yeah, Brad. Jump in the lake.
Richie and Darlene smile at each other. A large sound nearby gets their attention. They all look over and see 8 reindeer pulling a VW bug out of the driveway. A car slams on its brakes. The driver looks out the window. It's their English teacher, Mrs. Keenan, looking thrilled. She gets out of her car, jumps, and dances with joy.
Santa!
Santa waves at Violet and the kids.
Thanks, Richie and Lauren. Darlene, you be a good girl. And Brad, you're on the naughty list.
Santa smiles at Richie. Richie grins from ear to ear. The VW bug takes off, spins around, and disappears from sight.
Who was that?
It was Santa, you idiot.
Yeah, Brad, how can you be so stupid?
Richie, Lauren, Max, and Darlene walk away as Brad stands there looking astounded.
On the naughty list? For real?
Brad runs away crying. Interior Arnold House living room day. Jerry and Irene snuggle each other on the couch watching TV. Richie, Lauren, and Darlene run into the house with Max on their heels.
Oh, what's going on?
You'll never believe who we saw.
Santa!
Santa?
They all nod.
Oh, and this is Darlene.
Nice to meet you, Darlene.
Thanks. Nice to meet you too.
Dad, are you hiring anyone at your office?
Why? You want a job?
It's not for me. A couple of guys down the block could use some help.
Well, we do need some people in the mailroom. Are they dependable?
They're not just dependable, but Santa approved.
Jerry laughs.
Well, in that case, tell them they're hired.
Thanks, Daddy. You're the greatest. Come on, Darlene. Let me show you to my room.
Mine too.
Well, bye.
They all turn and run to the room. Arnold, oinking, runs after them. Jerry and Irene laugh, get settled back into the couch again.
You think they really met Santa?
Jerry considered it for a moment.
I'm sure they did.
Interior Arnold House living room day. The Christmas tree is lit and there are numerous presents underneath. Off to the side is a bike with a ribbon on it. Super Christmas Day. All of the animals watch eagerly as Lauren grabs presents and hands them out to the others seated nearby. She grabs one that says Jerry on it and walks over and hands it to him.
Here, Dad.
Sweetie.
He plays with it in his hand as if trying to figure out what it is. Irene watches. They exchange looks.
I wonder what this could be.
I have no idea. Who's it from?
Jerry looks at the tag and reads it.
It says it's from Santa.
Everyone watches Jerry.
Open it, Dad.
Yeah, open it.
Right. Here it goes.
Jerry rips the package open and his eyes grow wide.
What is it?
The German model airplane. The one I've wanted since I was a little boy.
You never told me you wanted a model airplane.
I never told anyone except
Except who?
Santa.
Everyone smiles. Jerry looks back at his model airplane.
Mom's next.
Lauren hands Irene a present and she rips it open and they all have fun together.
Richie, did you get something for Darlene?
Cut it out.
They all laugh together.
This was the best Christmas ever.
Best Christmas ever. They look overjoyed. Fade to black. Nice. Nice. That was awesome. Well done, everyone.